So you might have noticed that things have been a little bit quieter around here, a little bit different, and obviously I'm in a different setting here. And this is not a video I ever imagined doing, but here we are, and I wanted to show up honest and transparent, and because you'll notice if something is a little bit off or a little bit different. Is this the end of our gabled home? No, of course not. But last year was probably one of the hardest years of my life because my husband and I got divorced. And with that came a lot of changes that I could have never imagined. So when my marriage ended, I wasn't just losing a husband and a home and an identity, but also the routines and our gabled house, and also the future that I had imagined for the two of us. And I always think that animals are so sentient, and I think that this cat, she doesn't appear on camera very often. Usually it's her brother, the black one, but I think she notices that something is going on, and she has been very cuddly and snuggly, which I think is just so adorable and so needed right now. What was really difficult for me, though, wasn't necessarily divorce in itself. Of course, that's always difficult because you feel like the rug is being pulled away from underneath you, but it was also that all of a sudden the stories that were being told didn't match my experience, my perspective, and my memories. And I would look back at those memories, those shared memories that we had together, and when they were being portrayed in a completely different way that didn't match my own experience and my own memories, that's very confusing, very upsetting, very unsettling, and yeah, I was really shaken by that too. So of course I struggled with that. I wanted to explain, and I wanted to justify, I wanted to defend and set the record straight, but then I realized something even more important. I can't influence or change anybody's perspective, and I can't change anybody's story. I can't change anybody's narrative, and I don't need to. All I need to know is that I showed up with kindness and integrity and honesty. And that's actually very freeing, because at the end of the day, I know how I showed up. I showed up and I put all this effort and care and love, not just into this marriage, but also into everything that I do, into this channel, Our Gabled Home, and into my blog and everything that I do. And right there and then, that's enough for me. So this last year, just thinking about it and thinking back is really difficult, but I also believe that it's really important to show up vulnerable and to be honest. And this past year was extremely hard. I mean, there were days when I couldn't even look at my camera. I couldn't look at my computer. I didn't have any energy for any creativity left. I was losing the ground under me, and then at night I either couldn't fall asleep, or I would wake up in the middle of the night with my thoughts racing and trying to make sense of it all, and couldn't fall asleep for the longest time. So, when you wake up the next morning being sleep deprived doesn't make you any more creative or feeling more grounded, and it's a really bad vicious cycle. There was so much loss. It wasn't just a husband and a marriage and a future that I had imagined and a home, and in a way my brand identity with Our Gabled Home that had been the basis of this channel and the name and kind of like the face of the channel too. And I lost my stability and even for a little bit my sense of direction. But in all of that, the most empowering thing one can do is to focus on what one can do, and I focused on how I can rebuild and what I can change. So obviously a year is a long time, and I spent a lot of time reflecting, trying to understand, trying to see this as a growing opportunity, and also seeing where I can learn and where I could have done better, and yes, just grow as a person and use that to shape my future and to inform all the decisions I'm going to make going forward. So there's something really powerful about a door closing, because we all know when one door closes, there's probably other doors that open, and I am opening this one. I am choosing a new life, a new direction, and obviously you see that the setting is different, but it's also kind of symbolic. It's the beginning of something new that I think I'm going to get really excited about. But this transition also made me choose very intentionally kindness and peace over being angry, feeling revengeful, or being bitter. Because that's not who I am. That's not how I am, no matter what happens and no matter what happened to me. And also, I don't need to erase all the memories that we had. I can keep those and still move forward. I can still remember the good times that we had and still step into a new life here. And I can still appreciate all of what I had and take that as an inspiration for moving forward. So our Gabled Home has always been about creating beauty in life, creating little sweet moments and cherishing the sweet moments in life, making the most out of the sweet moments, and obviously all the little other things that happen in those videos and in between those videos and here in my community. When life felt really messy, I went back to baking a sourdough loaf, making a really nourishing, delicious meal, lighting that candle, going for a walk, being with my animals, my little furry family members, and all of the little things that carry us through life. Also, in all of that, you realize that healing doesn't necessarily happen in the big, loud moments. It often happens when things are quiet, when it's gentle, and often as more of an undercurrent than something that happens in a big way. And that is also what I realized and what I'm going to take with me going forward. So is this the end of our Gabled Home? Well, it may not be our Gabled house anymore, but the spirit of this channel, the community, everything is gonna stay the same and maybe even grow into something better. We'll continue to bake bread. We'll continue to make delicious traditional heritage German meals and foods and recipes and share all the little life moments and big life moments, and I'm very excited about that. And again, the heart of this channel, the simplicity, the homemaking, the traditions, all of that is going to stay the same because that is me. That is not necessarily tied to a house or a structure or something external. That is that's the spirit, that's the personality of this channel, and that will not change. That will remain the same, and like I said, maybe get even more pronounced, even better, and even more exciting. So the setting might be a little bit different. Obviously, you can tell that the kitchen is a lot different. There might be a lot of things here that you will recognize. For example, this kitchen table where I'm sitting, but yeah, so there's just a new chapter, and I'm very excited to take you along on this new chapter. And of course, I'm gonna do a house tour. I am not quite ready to do that yet, but stay tuned. I'm going to show you this new place here, and it's not quite finished, even though I worked really hard setting it up so I could feel comfortable here and I could feel at home, but it still needs some finishing touches, and I'm going to take you along for those and maybe get your guys' input, because I love that. It's a bit of a community, and I absolutely love the community aspect of all of this. And again, some of you have noticed, and I have hinted at things in the past, and the outpouring of love and support has been so meaningful and so appreciated, because yes, there is a YouTube channel and there is a video and there is a camera somewhere and there is a computer, but behind all of this, and here's the other cat, the brother, is the human connection is you and me, and I can feel it. And even though I would love to respond to all the comments that I get, and I think I mostly reply to all the emails I get, but I only have so many hours in a day. But even if you do send me some support, and even if you do send me some love, and even if you do leave a really nice heartfelt comment, please know that I read them all. I can feel the support, and it means so much for me. And it really helps me right now in these times. So again, I'm very excited to keep growing this channel with you, with your help, because without you, I wouldn't be here. And I love all your input. I love all your ideas. I love the inspiration that I get from you. I'm very excited actually, because I have a ton of ideas for content and a ton of things I would like to do here on this channel and here on YouTube in my videos, and I'm actually really excited. So I'm gonna take that forward with me, and yes, Our Gabled Home will still, the channel name will stay. I'm not going to change that, because it is a spirit. It's a personality. It's something that I have done, and not, like I said, tied to an outside external structure. So yes, it will stay Our Gabled Home. You will find the same warmth and heritage and traditions and all the spirit that you have come to appreciate from this channel. You will find that in all the content going forward. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And if you have ideas going forward, or if you have some other thoughts, also if you are going through trying times, or you know somebody who does, maybe you want to show them, share this video with them, and just know that you are supported and there's always a way forward. It's not so much what happens to us, the external things. It's really the choice is in how we respond to it and how we react to it and what we do with it. And I think that's the most empowering thing we can do. So I hope that if you are going through a hard time, that this is meaningful for you, and that you can take some comfort from it, or send it to somebody who needs to hear this message. So again, let me know if you have any questions, and if there are enough questions, maybe I'll do a video in which I'm just answering your guys' questions. And thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.